Sit down.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's live stream, which is Pep Talk Tuesday. It seems it comes quick, but it's already this Tuesday of the month where we find ways to connect with agents at 5-Star and talk to you about your business and to maybe offer some encouraging words in this kind of crazy moment we're finding in the market. So today I'm welcoming Cindy Beckwith and
Hi, everybody.
Anderson
Welcome.
and Doug Hale.
Hey,
And speaking of promotions today, we can allow you to have a promotion on our Pep Talk Tuesday, like Michelle Lipka is now experiencing her promotion today from being a listener to being a panelist. So hi, Michelle Lipka.
Hi, Michelle.
Well, I did not intend on this again, so.
Well, thank you for
All
being
you, Michelle.
Yeah, thanks for being willing to offer whatever it is comes to mind today. And if there's someone else that's listening with us today and is also thinking about offering words, just drop a note into the chat and we can move you up to a panelist as well. Otherwise, feel free to just listen along, whatever you like. But Michelle, thank you for being willing to be on camera. So Michelle has been doing all things 5-Star today. She was at the coffee hour today in Muskegon with none other than Doug Hale.
An integral part of our coffee discussion this morning. We had the time of our life, didn't we, Michelle?
Oh, yeah, always.
Yeah, so, but our topic today is what you focus on expands. So thinking about that coffee hour today, and after the coffee hour, Kim Anderson has had this vision to kind of expand and capitalize on these moments where we're gathering our agents together. And maybe Kim, you can talk a little bit about what happened today after the coffee hour.
Sure. So we've decided that since we are really getting really good feedback from our coffee hours, if you haven't been to one yet, I hope you'll join us. Doug Hale is our traveling broker who comes in and helps facilitate these, and he brings really great energy. And the thing about the coffee hours is they are about you. We don't have an agenda. We're not bringing any specific format. We just want to hear from you. And we're finding that agents are A, liking the connection in this mobile world, and B, the opportunity to talk about what's going on around us. And there is so much great input. I'm writing notes, right? I'm writing notes like, oh, okay, got that, got to teach that, right? And so the coffee hours have been amazing. And then we decided that we'll give a 15-minute break and then we're going to teach dot loop. It seems really simple, but as Michelle said today, there's always a takeaway. A lot of agents don't know the ins and outs of dot loop. And we all know that if dot loop doesn't work, it's hard to get our offer done, right? It's hard to get our listing done. So I'm excited that there were 6 that stayed for that. And then we're going to do some other like reviewing, writing a purchase agreement, review, writing a listing agreement. So this is just a first rollout to see if there's a need for it. And today shows us that there is, and we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Yeah.
and Michelle, you were part of that dot loop training. You guys sound like you guys had the time of your life. I hung around and kind of watched a little bit, listened to none other than Dr. Don do his thing. And your takeaway, how did that go, did you think?
It went very well. My takeaway is even though you think you know dot loop or even any other area of real estate, there is still things you can learn. All of us that were there that, have been in the business for a few years, we're like, I didn't know that. And so we all took away some new nuggets of information. So that, I guess, is my takeaway.
Good, perfect.
good.
Well, we even had a brand new gal. We met Jamie Osterhart today, and Jamie's probably listening this afternoon too. And she said afterwards, I can't tell you how valuable this has been. And
Nice.
She's come from another real estate company. She said, we don't do any of this that just happened this morning. So she can't wait to get more. She said, I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose, but yet it's a good thing. So
Well, it's interesting as I was, leaving the 5-Star office, and I was thinking to myself, this is what makes 5-Star so great. I mean, Paul was there. Don was there, the training, the camaraderie with your with your colleagues. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And you won't probably find that in too many other brokerages. So, I mean, it's amazing. I was thinking to myself driving home, this is why 5-star is so good.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's a good thing
Oh,
we're
good.
recording this. That's like perfect.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well
don't
put,
change,
Michelle.
don't change a word, Michelle. Don't change a word.
Perfect, perfect.
Well, great.
So,
Well,
Yeah.
we're
go
going to be
ahead, Trish.
heading to coffee hours, other places around the state as well. Ones that
Yeah.
Doug does and the ones that others do, but you'll see a similar feel to what's happening in those areas and other places around the state as well. So Cindy, when is your next coffee hour or your first coffee hour, not your next?
Actually, it's our second coffee hour.
Okay.
Yep, next Tuesday. Yeah, so hey, anybody can join us, and I'll be reviewing the purchase agreement after. And then the next coffee hour, we have the famous Kim Anderson coming in and going to teach us dot loop.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
yeah, it's great, but it is. I love what Michelle said, because it is an opportunity for all of us to be together, and you learn something new. You know, I always say never a dull moment in real estate, but it's nice to be able to be with your colleagues and learning, and just knowing that 5-star does this is fantastic.
Mhm. And that leads us into why we're here today, right? So we're heading to October 1. And the question I asked in Tuesday training today was, what's your plan between now and the spring market? What are you doing? Tell me. Right? And that's what we're talking about today is whatever we are focusing on is going to expand. So what does that look like? Like we're heading into October, then we have Thanksgiving, then we have Christmas, and then we have cold, and then we have cold, and then we have cold, right? So what are we doing? And so that's where we want to just get this off to the right start with, are we going to listen to what we're hearing on the news? How are we going to adapt? That's Greg's word. I love that word. I've said it every day. How are you adapting, right?
Yep.
So that's our conversation. Who's gonna start it off?
I'm going to say something before I forget, because I'm a senior. You know, I forget things. Once it comes, I got to say it, right?
You're a senior?
Just okay. Just
Me
bear with
too,
me.
guys. Me too.
Bear with me, ladies. So something an agent said this morning, and it talked about being the calm in the storm as things are just going a little chaotic, a little bit out of place, a little bit, into a place that people aren't comfortable with. Again, being that calm, positive voice in the middle of all of this. And Michelle, when this gal said it this morning, Jane McGregor, she's a veteran. She's been around a lot. And she said, that would be my advice to those of you either just getting into the business or moving forward as we think about, Kim, the end of the year. What's that got to look like during all of this? So there was so much positivity around what she said. And again, that would be kind of where I'm coming from as well. To be that calm in the storm, to be that person that's going to stay there, tell the story, talk to people, just no different than, again, I kind of look at the end of the year where I'm going to kind of enhance what I'm doing in terms of my prospecting, my outreach, my connections, because again, maybe you're a little slower as an agent. This gives you the necessary time to work on the basics of your business. So
Plus,
I learned a lot.
I look at it as opportunity. I really do. I think it was Sherry Johnson that said opportunities are not lost. They go to someone else. So I think staying positive and really and some of us have been in the business a pretty long time. So we've seen the ups and downs in that. And it really does have a lot to do with your attitude. And I think the attitude of opportunity is a great one because let's be honest, people are always going to need houses, regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, absolutely. I was going to say, when we talk about focusing on growth, that's going to look different for every single person out there. My focusing on the growth of my business is going to look different than Michelle's focus on her growth, and the same for Cindy, Kim, and Doug. And at the end of the day, we have to look at each opportunity we have, whether it's with a buyer or a seller. each one of those opportunities present other opportunities because each one of those people know different people. So if you're fortunate enough today to have a listing, okay, that's huge. Okay, having a listing right now is huge.
Mhm.
And that listing comes with a whole set of opportunities that might be available, okay, just from getting the listing. So how are you going to work that neighborhood or the neighborhood across the street when you have a listing? There is an opportunity there to introduce yourself to an entire neighborhood of people. So, before houses used to sell themselves, you guys, we might have to be working it a little bit harder because it's not just put it on the internet and sell it, because it's not going to happen. I had an agent out of our commerce office that had a listing this weekend, and it actually did happen. So it is still
Nice.
happening, but we
Right.
can't count on it, right? She
Right.
had a multiple offer situation, quite a few showings, didn't really know what to expect, but went into it very nervous. So are we walking neighborhoods? Are we holding open houses? Are we going to hold a neighborhood open house? Are we going to knock on doors and introduce ourselves? Set yourself apart. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Mm.
for
Yes,
sure.
very good.
Well, Kim
Very-
Kim, you and I talked yesterday about one of your sellers for about a price reduction and, doing the due diligence to talk with them and all that. Well, I called a client and I got a price reduction. Kim, you inspired me. We have to take control and be professional, and it's all in our tone and how we talk. And if we're positive and sellers are looking for guidance.
Mhm, mhm. And we were talking this morning in a couple of my classes. There is business out there. We're just heading into October. There is still business. There's still business all through the winter. We know that winter buyers and sellers are serious buyers, sellers. And it's about how many people are we connecting with? How many people are we talking to? And one of our agents in class today was telling me what he's doing. I was encouraging him, it was amazing what he's doing. And at the end of the day, they said, well, we don't really want to sell. But my encouragement to him was, keep them in your list, because at some point a no is just maybe not right now.
Yep.
So keep building your pipeline. How are you going to stay in front of these people so that when they do pull that trigger, when they do decide I am going to list, then they are going to have your name be the first name that they see. And that's where I really think we have to focus right now, is in those connections, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to share last night about 6:30. I finally sat down on the couch and was like, okay, now what do I do? Right? Just needed a break. I never watch the news. I couldn't tell you half of what's going on in our country. I can't do it. It makes me nervous. It makes me panic. So I get highlights and on my feed, and that's it. So I sat down and thought, okay, well, my parents are in Florida. I'm going to see where the hurricane's at. I turn on the TV, and the first three news stories were a school shooting, the hurricane, and the bad economy. And I went, click. I can't do it. So I think it's really important that we have to know. I'm not saying not know what's going on in the world, but for me personally, I can't do it. Like, I want to go grab my grandchildren and say, you're never going to school again. I can't do it. Right. So that just bought into today. What you focus on expands. Look how I reacted to that. So it's the same in a positive. I also got up this morning at 6 a.m. and I take a first 30, 45 minutes to read, to put something positive into me. If I go for a walk, I put on a podcast. So I think we want to focus on, what are you doing? The word growth. What are you doing to keep yourself full, to keep yourself growing every day? It's real easy. I get little snippets in my inbox. Maxwell Leadership, Minute with Maxwell, every day. Click, 1 minute. I got something positive, right?
Yep.
So we're in a fast world. So I'd love to hear, what do you do to keep yourself positive, or what suggestions might we have? Because everyone's different. I have them move throughout the day. It's not like one and done, like, oh, there's a positive quote. Oh yeah. And I'm constantly like feeding my soul with something that says, you got this, right? So that's my story.
That tells me you're being intentional.
Intentional, absolutely.
And a
Yes.
ninja, Michelle Lipka, is
Ooh.
intentional about what they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I've, I went through the Ninja installation this spring, and I guess what you expand, what you focus on expands, is I'm enrolled in Terry Johnson's Ninja Mastery that starts in October, and I've committed to that. So I'm excited, and I'm really kind of nervous about it. But it'll be good. But again, what you focus on expands, and I just feel that I need this year-long commitment to Ninja to really make it a habit, to focus on it and make it just an everyday occurrence in my business. So
That's good.
Good,
Good.
good for you. And if, we've said this many times about the Ninja podcast, and that is an excellent way to spend about 30 minutes of your day. You could sit every day, because there is just a plethora, a library filled by topic of Ninja podcasts. And I can tell you that you will get something from every single one. You will feel a friendship with them, when they come on. I follow them online. I follow them on Facebook. They're excellent. And I would really encourage anyone here to spend some time in the Ninja library. I also spent some time actually it was on Sunday, I was driving, and I just went through all of these little snippets that Sherry Johnson has put together.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're probably 5 minutes in length, but there's a number of them that you could just focus on just one small thing. It's what you put up here that changes the focus or the rhythm, maybe of your business, but certainly of your day.
And Ninja, I wake up to them on Monday mornings, right? If you've been through Ninja, yesterday was forward calls, and you can just, be intentional. And sometimes I have 3 or 4, but I'll look at the topic and, pop it in. But it's really important to keep something positive going, just in your life, but also for real estate. And Ninja is that really, really good podcast for that, because they're giving you the tools and the positivity, how to overcome objections, right? So they're one of our favorites. Cindy, what do you do every day? I know that you're up early.
I'm up at 4:30 every morning. My devotions are real important to me,
What?
and I learn
Wait a
a lot
minute,
every day. But
wait a minute.
4:30, I
You said
keep that.
4:30?
Oh,
She's worked
Doug,
out by 6. She's done.
Oh my gosh, and that's
Who
the other
are
thing.
you? Who are
I
you?
know I'm odd. I'm very odd. But Kim was talking about the negative news. I like to do kickboxing. I do aerobics. I think exercising, it helps get gets my mojo going. And I have to establish the habit. I'm very task oriented, and I just make it part of my day. I really do. Same with my devotions, reading something positive. I wake up, every day. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I'm blessed and highly favored,
You're not kicking some at 4:30, are you?
No, I should be. I'm going to call you at 4:30, Doug.
Oh
But
my word. It won't be the same. It won't.
I'm calling you at 4:30. But really, the world will steal that, it'll steal that time away, and you get to choose how you spend it and how you use it. And, I think that the mindset and being positive can just change your whole world. I really do.
Agreed.
As I get to know Cindy, I keep finding out these little things about 4:30, and then kickboxing, and then devotions, and then she gets her eyelashes on. I got her whole routine down.
I
right?
talked to my Josh. The other thing, vinegar and cinnamon, my vinegar, my cinnamon.
Yep,
and,
drink something.
Pepper. Oh yeah. Oh, Kim, I got a surprise for you tomorrow. So
All right.
Jeez.
So what I'm learning is she's a very successful agent, and her habits are how she maintains that. And every time, I don't know, every time I look on Facebook, Cindy's listing or selling something or pending something or fixing a drain or fixing a drain field but it
oh my
all
gosh,
comes down-
Michelle, we got to talk. I got drain fill issues.
So it's inspiring to hear what everybody does every day. I know Tracy, she's kind of a road warrior, and you have your list of podcasts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think the main thing is you are a realtor. And the main thing you do is connect. Without connections, all the other things don't matter. So you can have the best systems, you can have the best podcasts, you can do the best devotionals, you can read the best books. But if you're not connecting with people,
Yeah.
Exactly.
then there's nothing flowing, right? It's a flow,
Absolutely.
staying in the flow. So staying in the flow means you need to be a connector. And that was the number one thing that Greg said about me when he met me was, I think maybe there's something here for you because of the way you're built. And so you may not be a natural connector, but you can find ways to connect with people by being intentional about where you exercise, where you eat, who you hang out with, the books you read, the shows you watch. There's so many ways to connect with people. Do you like to exercise, ride bikes, play tennis? What was I saying I need to be doing? I need to be playing pickleball. I keep
Pickleball,
saying-
yes.
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
This is like the place where probably everybody over 40 is connecting. But we are in a connecting type business. And
Yeah.
so as we think about moving into this last quarter and into the first quarter of 2023, we need to be thinking about connecting, and that's going to look different for every person. So I want you to be thinking about how you're connecting with people, because we all know people who are buying and selling real estate.
Yep.
And as Cindy said, Cindy,
Get out there and do it. No, no,
someone's going to
you're-
get the business.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Tracy, I love it. We connect, and you know, it doesn't matter what kind of personality you have. Just go out there and talk to somebody. Something good will come out of it, no matter what. Step out of your comfort zone. You know, I started the business. I did cold calls, hated them, but did them. And once you do it, you just get more confidence. And if you don't have confidence, find someone to go with you to do it, because you can do it. You can be successful in this business.
Well, simply said, enthusiasm, energy. People want to be around happy people, right? You know those people that are contagious that you just want to be around.
Yeah.
I do, and I go to them a lot. And they can be in my sphere, they can be out of my sphere. By the way, they'll all be in my sphere because I want to be around more happy people. So, but that's what I think sets us apart in terms of our mindset, doing the same thing. I mean, I'm religious about doing the same thing daily. Otherwise, I just feel like I look back at the course of the day and I'm thinking, well, what just happened? And why didn't I kind of lead the way that day? So very, very important. I love what you guys are saying.
Michelle, I have a
Yeah, go
quick
ahead.
question for you, Michelle. So how many years in the business right now?
I'm entering my 4th year.
Okay, so 4 years in the business. What kinds of things did you do early on that were totally out of your comfort zone?
Cold calling,
Uh-huh.
just talking to random strangers that I'd encounter. I appear confident at times, but I'm kind of shy, believe it or not. But yeah, cold calling I think was the most uncomfortable. So even sending letters to, even though it wasn't in person, just even mailing to for sale by owners and expired listings, and just putting myself out there in general. But it's amazing how much real estate can really build your confidence.
And what kind of fruit did you bear? Now, it can be fruit that you produced by way of just putting yourself out there, made you more confident, or maybe it was fruit by way of getting a buyer or a seller. So what kind of fruit were produced when you were willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable place?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know.
Okay.
Fruit as in, do you mean like by sales or?
Yeah, like the fruit might have just been you became more confident as a result of, you know, when you first are a realtor, even introducing yourself and talking about your business, you don't have anything, you know, in your wheelhouse because maybe you haven't sold anything. But the
Right.
more you pick up the phone, holding an open house, introducing yourself, confidence begins to build through those activities. Did you experience anything like that? It doesn't have to be that, yeah, I got my first listing from cold calling and I earned a commission, but fruit could be different kinds of fruit as well.
I think just confidence, not being afraid to talk to people, let everybody know that you're in real estate. For me, the biggest thing is follow through. I try and touch my sphere of influence and past clients multiple times a year. I send client appreciation gifts quarterly. I have to be very intentional because I'm the type of person that if I don't kind of plan out my day or say, this is what I want to accomplish today, there's too many shiny pennies around. So I kind of have set my agenda for the day. I check things off. And then if I check everything off, then okay, I can look at the shiny pennies a little bit, but I have to be very intentional and very structured in what I want to accomplish that day.
Let me introduce you to my friend Kim Anderson.
Do I go after shiny pennies?
I don't know, structure, when I heard the word structure.
I know, I was saying, I'm not a really big shiny penny person. I like to just stay on my tasks. And then if I have time, it's structured. Yeah, I'm very structured. And I have to be because I know myself. And when I get stressed, I know how I respond to that. And I don't really like myself that well. So I do that to keep myself in check, right? But one of the things I think I've seen with Michelle, she probably couldn't put her finger on it, but I've never heard her have a scarcity mindset. She's always had an abundance. And those came through in her actions. She knew there was business and she went for it. I've never heard you say, yeah, no one's going to buy from me. Nah, I see her passing out koozies at the store, giving out popcorn, and that's where we need to really be. And it can be challenging in October, but I'm going to tell you, it can be really challenging in January. So it's really important to get this going right now and keep it part of whatever the market's doing, to just stay, there's more than up. That's what Cindy said. Somebody's going to get the listing. It's going to be me. Somebody's going to get the buyer. It's going to be me. And if I could kick this off with everyone starting in October, that's what I would say. Whatever you have to do, find the abundance mindset, because the world's telling us there's never enough, right? The world's always telling us it's falling apart. I think what Tracy said, her word is always intentional. We have to be intentional about that there is business. I will tell you, this team here has watched some of the struggle in my real estate this year. Last year, everything I touched went to gold. This year, a lot of it fell apart. Now, and I kept saying, okay, it's going to get better by fall. Guess what? It's getting better by fall. I had it for 3 months to keep going, got this, even though I'm like, do I have this? I don't know. Do I have this? And so it's just constantly keep going forward, one step, and believing that some of those things that happen will come back around. And it is a mindset. It is a discipline to believe that way. It's not easy, right? It's not easy.
Well, and I think that every single touch you make with a person, no matter how small it is, those small touches repeated over time turn into one big touch that's going to keep you top of mind to those people. It can just be a simple email saying, or a text, I hope you're having a great day, or just something. But I think maybe it's the snowball effect. Those little things that you do, they may seem very small and inadequate, but believe me, they will mount into something larger that will pay off for you. So,
Well put, Michelle.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, hey, I think we've said it. What you focus on expands. I think we've all added some things that really talk about abundance and adapting. Things are changing. Hopefully you can be like Kim, and when you turn on the news, just turn it off and decide what you're going to fill your mind with and what you're going to focus on. So anyway, thank you guys. And Michelle, thank you. This was an impromptu.
Thank you.
Surprise.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Michelle. I wrote it all down.
Be intentional. Be intentional.
Great. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you
Bye-bye.
next month.
All right,
everybody.
see ya. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.